Hello students, I have come up with another class here. So let us have today the topics which we have already covered in brief. Let us have a glance, and I want to give some important information here. Okay, all of you mind it. Fine. So this topic is done. Operational amplifier. Introduction is done. Block diagram is done. Very important topic. Then we have I'm showing you my notes. So keeping this as the reference, I'll be taking you the classes. Okay. So yeah, the one important information is that notes was prepared for 15 scheme, 15 scheme, but yours is 18. So in 15 schemes, there were the syllabus was vast, whereas for your 18 schemes, many things have been chalked out. Okay, many things are removed. So so the things which are to be removed, I will mention here, and I want you to study only the things which is there in your syllabus. Okay, nothing more than that. Fine. So this topic is there. Block diagram, very important topic. This is how it is represented. Characteristics of op amp, very important topic for your exam. Okay. Sometimes there are 5 to 6 characteristics. Out of these 6 characteristics, he can ask you only one or only two characteristics also. That too for 6 marks or 8 marks. Only two. You should be able to describe it. Then for more explanation, you already have textbooks, right? If you find that the explanation in my given notes is not satisfactory, not sufficient, not enough, then I want my students to refer textbook. You will get plenty of explanation there. If you have any doubt, reply me. Okay, reply me or ask through your WhatsApp group. Fine. Then yeah. Ideal op amp characteristics, very important topic. Equivalent circuit diagram of op amp. I didn't do this in your video class. Okay, I have not done this because this is how it is represented. Not very important from your exam point of view. Okay. So anyway, it is given in detail in my notes. If you can refer this. Okay. Wherein RI is representing internal resistance of op amp. Fine. Input side, input resistance, where R0 is representing output resistance. This topic was done in video class, very important topic. Open loop op amp configurations, all this three was done in video class. Again, once again, important topic. Yeah, one very important question here. Okay, why an op amp with negative feedback? Okay, we now we so far we have seen op amps with open loop, right? In open loop configuration. Just a second. Yes. So far we have seen op amps with the open loop configurations, right? Open loop in the sense there will not be any feedback. If there is any feedback connected, then we call that op amp circuit as closed loop circuit. We call any circuit which has a feedback, we call it as closed loop. Without any feedback, we call it as open loop. Okay, this was explained to you earlier. Now, when a feedback is connected, it can be a positive feedback as well as a negative feedback. Okay, when a feedback is connected to the positive terminal, feedback means when the output is connected to input, when output of the op amp is connected to the input, which input now? If the output is connected to inverting terminal, it is called as negative feedback, because inverting terminal is having a polarity of minus, negative. Then we call it as negative feedback connected. If we connect output of the op amp to non-inverting terminal, then this becomes positive feedback. Okay, positive feedback. Both are different. Positive feedback and negative feedback is different. Okay, as we know, the open loop gain of an op amp is very high, and if we use positive feedback, further our gain will further it will increase. Okay, and we don't want this. Why we don't want this? The description is written here. Okay, whereas negative feedback will reduce your gain and it will stabilize your gain. It will improve most of the parameters. Okay, it will take care of the stability of the output of a op amp. Okay, so such points are mentioned here. Okay, so this explanation I have written in detail. Just go through this. Okay, and the next topic is in as per your syllabus, it is negative feedback amplifier circuits, excluding derivation. Excluding derivation. Okay, so this particular topic, voltage series feedback amplifier, this is under negative feedback amplifier as per your Gayakwad book. As per your Gayakwad book. Okay, operational and linear ICs. The author is Gayakwad. Okay, not the David Bell. Hope you remember the two author name list I had given to you in my beginning class. One is David Bell, another one is Gayakwad, Ramakant Gayakwad. So this Gayakwad book. This and the syllabus is prescribed as per this book itself. If you open the contents and see, it will exactly match with your syllabus of your VTU. Fine. So under this topic, he has mentioned that there is no derivation. But in my notes given to you, I have derived all the derivations. So I want you to follow this point. That is, don't study the derivation. It is not the part of your syllabus. Okay. Only the circuit diagram, the concept, and the final equations. Okay. Only the final equations. Not very important topics. Okay. Fine. When the derivations are necessary, I will derive and show you. If required, I will prepare a video class like yesterday how I did for uh, voltage transfer curve, and if derivations required, I will do it on whiteboard and make a video and give it to you. Fine. So see, this is voltage series feedback amplifier. If you see this circuit, this is a non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting because input is given to non-inverting terminal, and the inverting terminal is grounded through a resistance R1. Can you see? V2 is grounded with resistance R1. V2 is also connected to V0 output, right? V0 is connected to inverting terminal. So we call this as negative feedback non-inverting amplifier circuit. Negative feedback non-inverting amplifier. Okay. So AF is called as closed loop voltage gain. AF, A suffix F is also known as, in short, AF is closed loop voltage gain. AF is given as V0 by V in, whereas we have V0 equal to A equal to V minus V1 minus V2. V1 minus V2 is the difference in input. Difference in input. So referring above circuit, we see that V1 is equal to, V1 is nothing but V in, because V2 is already grounded there. But how can we write V2? Because V2 is connected to feedback. V2 is connected to output. So here Vf equal to, V2 is nothing but Vf at this junction. At this junction Vf, we have to use voltage divider rule. Voltage divider rule. How will you write V2 there? How will you write voltage divider rule? The resistance of the present branch, is R1 into V0. What is V0? Voltage at the opposite node. Voltage at the opposite node is V0. For Vf, the opposite voltage is V0, right? R1 into V0 whole divided by the sum of the resistance. The sum of the resistance is R1 plus RF. This is voltage divider rule. Anyway, this derivation is not there for you, but still I am telling you. I want you to write the final equations like this. AF you will obtain as 1 plus RF by R1. 1 plus RF by R1. You can easily obtain this equation with some simple mathematical steps. Okay. So this AF equal to 1 plus RF by R1 is called as feedback voltage gain, or also called as closed loop voltage gain. Next, the block diagram representation. This is how a block diagram can be represented for non-inverting amplifier with negative feedback. Okay, where A is open loop gain and B is feedback circuit gain. A is open loop gain and B is feedback circuit gain. So AF closed loop gain is also written as A divided by 1 plus AB, where A is open loop gain and B is closed loop gain. Then further, if we continue, input resistance with feedback. Without feedback, input resistance will be only Ri, right? With feedback, it is going to become RIF. Okay. So if we derive this, finally we will get that RIF stands for feedback resistance. Feedback input resistance will be equal to Ri, that is input resistance, into 1 plus AB. 1 plus AB. So this sentence is very important. This means that the input resistance of op amp with feedback is 1 plus AB times that of that with feedback. Means without feedback it's going to be only Ri. Only Ri. With feedback it's going to become Ri into 1 plus AB. Ri into 1 plus AB. The gain is getting multiplied with resistance. Gain is getting multiplied with resistance. Similarly, output resistance with feedback ROF, F stands for feedback, R0 stands for output resistance. So with this simple derivation, you will obtain this as ROF equal to R0 divided by 1 plus AB. Okay. Similarly, voltage shunt feedback amplifier, wherein we use a inverting amplifier with feedback. Whereas in series first circuit, I will go back. This was your first circuit, right? Voltage series feedback amplifier. Here we had taken non-inverting amplifier with negative feedback. Non-inverting because input was applied to non-inverting amplifier. Whereas voltage shunt feedback, this one, voltage shunt feedback amplifier, input is applied to inverting terminal. Okay, and the non-inverting terminal is directly grounded. You can see here up V1 is grounded. This is the only difference. So once again here you have to get the different parameters for closed loop. AF is going to be equal to minus ARF divided by R1 plus RF plus AR1. Negative sign indicates that input and output signals are out of phase by 180 degree. So this sentence was explained to you in open loop configurations, right? So finally AF will be obtained as minus RF by R1. Minus RF by R1 will be a AF. Okay. Block diagram representation will give you AF equal to minus RF by R1. Input resistance, once again, if you derive, it will be R1 itself, ideal. Input resistance will be only Ri. Output resistance with feedback, it is going to be ROF equal to R0 divided by 1 plus AB. You require to draw this op amp circuits as it is, then you need to write this sentence and this final equations. No need to derive this. Okay. So this topic I'll prepare another class, okay, for AC and DC amplifiers. Okay. You have only AC amplifiers in your syllabus. Okay. Let me stop my class here.